towards animals?
Yes, good.
Empathy, humanity.
Honesty.
Humanity, yes. Honesty, yes. Good. Everyone giving a good qualities. Thank you. Some of good qualities of humans are creative, passionate, lifelong learner, and good listener, responsible and kind. Be a leader and not a boss. Be honest and have integrity. These are the qualities which every human being has, but all are living certain limited circle only. So all the qualities are dumped into that person itself. If we come out and helps to the society, everyone would respect them. Life for you. Give responsible to society. In VTC, everyone has a special quality. In that, most important quality person to evaluate everyone as perfectly. Yes, let's welcome our general evaluator, Toastmaster Priyanka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anantha sir. Once again, a very good evening to one and all. I, as the general evaluator for today, will be observing the meeting and evaluate on what happens and what doesn't. Well, I wouldn't be doing this single-handedly. I have my team of pillars, probably the pillars of every Toastmasters meeting, the tag team. Firstly, I call upon our timer for the day to introduce his role. Over to you, timer.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Welcome, everyone. Hello, Toastmasters. Kindly excuse me, I'll be turning off my videos because I'm having an uncertain internet here. Let me go ahead. Today, I'll be playing the timer. A timer's role is to note the time of the speakers. As a timer, I will time the table topic speakers, the formal speeches, and also the evaluations. We'll also alert each speaker of the time they have left using cards of the color green, yellow, and red. For the benefit of the speakers and the guests, let me give you the details. Table topic speakers should limit their speeches to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Icebreaker speeches should limit their speeches to 4 to 6 minutes. But since we do not have any icebreaker speech today, I'll skip to the next one. Other speakers, which are known as the prepared speeches, will be from 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll raise the red card. The individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. All the speakers will get a 30 seconds buffer time after the red card. Thank you very much and all the best to all the speakers. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, timer. Next up, we have the R counter for the day to elaborate on her role. Over to you, the R counter.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Hello, Toastmasters and guests. Qualities that form the foundation of human qualities are honesty, integrity, courage, self-awareness, and wholeheartedness. Quality reflects through the words we speak. Using the filler words like will make others think that you're not confident and honest while you're conveying your message in the speech. It's better if you take a pause for a second or two. Think of the meaning you're trying to convey and then resume your speech. It would be much better than using those filler words. As an R counter, I will listen to overused words, including and, well, but, so, and these filler words. At the end of the meeting, I will submit my report. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, accountant. And lastly, we have the grammarian for the day to introduce his role. Over to the grammarian.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So, good evening, my dear Toastmasters and guests. So, as a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully on their language usage. I will take a note of an improper language as well as an outstanding words, quotes, or any thoughts. As a grammarian, my role is to introduce a word of the day. So, for today's meeting, the word of the day will be integrity, which means the quality of being honest and having some some strong moral principles. For example, you are in integrity when the life you are living on the outside matches who you are on the inside. So, any of the guests or Toastmasters wants to try the word of the day now? It's fine. Okay. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day, and I will be submitting my grammarian report during the end of the meeting, and also the report of usage of the word will be given. Yeah. Back to those general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devendran and my team of pillars. I, the general evaluator, will get back to you at the end of the meeting with my precise report on commendations and recommendations. Thank you, and over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Priyanka. Before moving to the session, to the benefit of Toastmasters and guests, I will tell you how the program goes on. First, we have prepared speeches where two speakers have come prepared for their speeches. But today's special, our guest speaker will give two speeches for us. So today we are having three speakers. Second, it's table topic, where a table topic master gives an on the spot topics. Third, evaluation, where we would get our feedback and performance of the day. Let's go into our session. Let me say few words about the first integrity speaker. She is Assistant Area Director for Finance of A5. She loves dance, very kind and helpful person. She is doing her 4th year biotechnology. Yes, she is from Klima VIT. Today, she is going to deliver her level 5 path 1 about high performance leadership. In this, she is going to deliver as 2 part of speeches. In first part, she is going to speak about planning is the key to success. Yes, none other than she is Agila Alais Agilandeshwari. Before I call her, let me call her evaluator, Toastmaster Bharat. Toastmaster Bharat. Bharat, are you in line?
I think he's experiencing some lag.
Okay, so let's deliver their speeches. So many? Will you try that?
We cannot ask her to start the speech without the evaluator, sir. We'll have to wait for
Yeah.
that.
Yes. What about Raghavi? She also not come.
Sir, Bharat is in place of Raghavi.
Yes, but he also not in line.
We'll wait for 2 minutes. He is joining again.
Am I audible? Sorry, I got disconnected.
Yes, Bharat.
Yeah. So it's a very hot Sunday. So assume now you cooked a chicken biryani for your family and they are going to eat it now. And suddenly your sister says, hey, I can even die rather than eating your chicken biryani. Yes. And your mother says always, the taste is good if it is eatable. So the biryani is the project, and these are the comments that we received for the evaluation. So at any part of life, evaluation is the most important aspect to achieve or to grow in your field. Yes. So today I am the evaluator for the speaker one. So moving on to the speaker, so as TMOD told, so she is doing her 4th year biotech in VIT, and she is also the assistant area director for area A5, and that's it. So she is going to do her project on high performance leadership. So the purpose of the project is to apply the leadership and applying the leadership and the knowledge and the planning knowledge to the project. So it consists of 2 speeches. So in the first speech, she will be delivering the plan and vision of the speech, and the time limit for the speech is about 5 to 7 minutes. And she is also going to deliver a second speech. So that will be about, after implementing those works in her project, she will be sharing her experience that she gained from the project. So the first speech will be about the plan and vision of the project, and the second speech will be about the experience that she gained from the project. So the speech time limit for the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. So that's it. And Toastmaster Akilendeshwari, all the best for your speech. Over to the TMOD.
Thank you, Bharat. Welcome, Toastmasters Agila, to give the first part of your speech. Now the stage is yours.
Am I audible and visible? Okay. Time up. You can start. 6th November 2019. The Vice President membership of Clima VIT for the next term is Toastmaster Akhila. A very good evening, Toastmasters. I had always looked up to the role of the VPM ever since I joined PMI. Remember the first time you all had to give your induction speech when you were quite nervous and a person walks towards you smiling to tell you about your turn. My first connect with the club, and in fact, all of our first connects with our clubs will be with our VPMs. So the post of the VPM has always been something close to my heart because I still remember the gesture the VPM showed me when I was about to give my induction speech. Once elected as the VPM, I wasn't really sure how will I able to do this post. But I knew the club had put in their full trust on me. The post of the VPM was a huge responsibility on my shoulders. But I made it up in my mind that I would never give up and I will never let my club members down. The role of the VPM reminds me of someone who is a symbol of integrity and is always ready to help and approachable. More than just an XCOM post, it's all about being a good companion to your clubmates. For those of you who don't know, the VPM tasks include conducting inductions and maintaining club bonding. Performing these tasks are not easy as it seems. For me to plan things for a term, I did a lot of homework. I decided and discussed with the previous VPM on what are the things that I have to do and what are the things the club has to improve. With the help of this, I started making my plan for my term. The first plan, my plan for the inductions was quality over quantity. Quality is a much more important parameter according to me. I wanted to bring in inductees who are really willing to join Toastmasters International and wanted to grow along with the club. My vision was to help them reach their goals they set for themselves in this journey along with a friendly environment. Also, I've always felt there are usually enough number of people who are good speakers in a club. But when it comes to people who are not really confident and who want to improve about public speaking, they should definitely get a chance to join a TMI club. Even I have started my journey similar to this. From scratch, from a person who wasn't very confident to speak on stage to a person who's confident right now to put forth my thoughts. I have come a long way. For a person like me who has gone through this steep growth, has always wanted to implement it in my club as well. That's why I decided to give importance more to people who are really willing to join TMI and who wants to groom themselves into confident people. Number two, plan. The plan of improving the club bonding. The previous VPM have mentioned me about how Clima had somewhere lost the connect the members had to share within themselves. So I sat back. I was thinking, what can be really done? There were times people used to come to sessions only to perform roles and just leave. This is exactly the ideology that I wanted to break. More than just performing roles, my aim was to try to bring the connect back together that Climber needs to share. Without the club members bonding, there's literally no club. My aim was to organize hangout sessions in the campus, plan out for a lunch outside the campus, and maybe, if I can pull it off, a club trip. Bringing everybody together for hangouts was a challenge, but I had better plans. I focused on bringing most of us together, if not all of us. There lies a big difference between these. Number three, coming to the inter-club bonding. As you all know, TMI VIP has 10 clubs within. Just as how club bonding is important, inter-club bonding is equally important. The connect that Clima could share with each other from all of our 10 clubs needed focus. For this, my plan was to coordinate people from our club to attend other club sessions regularly and build a rapport with them. More the number of sessions we attended, more the number of people we get to know, and most importantly, more we get to learn from other clubs. I'm a person who strongly believes that it takes as much as energy to wish as it does to plan. Planning is the key to success, my dear Toastmasters. Anything that you wish to achieve in life, there needs to be some sense of planning on how you want it to be done. Once you have a plan, you'll get a clear picture of what needs to be done. And most importantly, you'll know the struggles that you'll need to go through to reach your goal. So, you guys might be wondering, did my plan succeed? To know that, stay tuned to my next speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sagila. It was an amazing speech. We are waiting for your second part of speech. Before that, let's have 1 minute silence. So everyone can send the feedback to her by personal or in chat box. Our timer, Toastmaster Vijay Surana sir, is ready to remain the time of 1 minute.
Sir, a minute is up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, it's time to welcome our second speaker. This speaker, young, energetic, always with a smiley faces. He loves traveling to new places and explore things. He is from our club, none other than Toastmaster Ritik Jain. He is giving his level 2 project 1 in the topic of a spring flower. Before I call him, let me call his evaluator, Toastmaster Soumini. Toastmaster Soumini.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Ritik is beginning his level 2 project 1 today in his pathway, Persuasive Influence. This project asks him to identify his leadership style or styles. The purpose of this project is for the speaker or the Toastmaster to share some aspects of their primary leadership style and discuss leadership styles in general. I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Ritik's speech on various elements like clarity of the speech, audience awareness, hand gestures, eye contact, and comfort level, etc., and give my evaluation at the end. All the best to Toastmaster Ritik. Break some legs. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Welcome, Toastmaster Ritik. Please deliver your colorful speeches. Toastmasters Ritik.
Thank you. Am I audible? Clear and loud?
Yes.
All right. Timer, I'll begin in a couple of seconds, just 5 seconds. It was a beautiful morning at Cubbon Park. Spring has just sprung with the flowers in full bloom, spreading the sweetest fragrance in the air. As I was running my first 10K, I could hear the chirping of the birds, could feel the warmth of the sun on my skin, could see the fluffy white clouds that drifted lazily in the never-ending blue skies. Halfway through my run, at 5 kilometers, and I feel great. At 6 kilometers, I feel good. At 7 kilometers, I feel okay. At 8 kilometers, that's when the pain starts to set in. My legs were shivering. It felt like my heart and my lungs were going to explode. I could hear my brain screaming to stop running. I was starting to crumble. Fellow Toastmasters, have you ever felt this way? When you're pushed to your limits, when you're exhausted physically and mentally, and you start to crumble. I can bet we all have crumbled on hard times at some points in our life. As I was standing there, about to give up, I hear a voice, and it was from my coach Shreyas, who had been running a few steps behind me. He comes to me, looks in the eyes, and says, Ritik, you still have 2 kilometers to go. And there are 2 things you can do. You can either crumble down and stay where you're at, or you can try pushing yourself and see how far you can go. Well, his words did give me the push I needed to complete my last 2 kilometers. You see, Shreyas was special, like a flower. What made him special were not the words he just said, but all the words he didn't say. Let me tell you how. I would often find him in some corner of the park, away from everybody else, having a conversation. And what I would notice is that the other person would be talking. And Shreyas would typically stand there like this and just nodding, saying yes, showing excitement, asking curious questions. The interesting thing is that the person he'd be talking over there might be a big businessman who is training under him, or a janitor who cleans the park. Shreyas did not talk much, yet people would gravitate towards him, like bees would gravitate towards a flower. He was coaching close to 300 people at that time with less talking and more listening. What I found out was that he would really ask the questions he wants to be asked. For example, one of the interesting things about Shreyas is that he loved solo traveling. Every now and then he would take a break from his coaching sessions, pack his hiking bag, put on his hat, and travel from the Western Ghats to the magnificent mountains of Himalayas. And boy, did he think that Himalayan women with their expressive eyes were the most beautiful women in the world. But instead of in a conversation coming out and saying, hey, here's an interesting thing about me, I have solo traveled to Himalayas. Instead, he would say, where have you traveled in the world that was your favorite place? Or, what do you do after work to brush off all the stress? He would really ask the questions he wants to be asked. What happened most of the time is that someone gets all excited telling you about themselves that it builds such a bond that is real. All the guards come down. You hear people for who they really are. And more importantly, you have the gift to see someone else in the world who desperately needs to be seen. I can guarantee you, hardly anyone in this world is seen anymore. In fact, we are a selfie culture, and we are always going, where's my phone? Hey, look at me. Hey, look at me with my friends. We're having fun. Hey, look. And there is nothing wrong with it, except everybody are saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. And you have the opportunity to say, look at you. That's what Shreyas did. When you do that, people open up like a flower. That's where real human engagement happens. As leaders, as speakers, when we are in a group of people, we have a whole bunch to talk about. We have our stories to share. We have things that we are excited about, and that's just fine. Unless you want to be people's leader. Before we are really heard, we first have to hear what's possibly in the head of the audience. As speakers, we want to be listened to all the time. But before we are really listened, we first have to listen. We want to be seen for what we are doing all the time. But before we are really seen, we first have to see other people. It really starts with listening. You see, Shreyas was a spring flower in the Cubbon Park, the most beautiful of all. Listening was his fragrance, his style of leadership, his human quality. People from all walks of life would come to him. They would tell him their stories, and he would patiently stand there like this, just nodding, saying yes, showing excitement, asking curious questions, and then really, really listening. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Ritik, for giving a fragrance speech. It was wonderful. Let's have 1 minute silence so everyone can send the feedback to him. Timer, please update after 1 minute.
A minute is up.
Thank you, sir. Now, let's call our guest Agila to deliver our second part of speech about ideas are yesterday, execution is today, and excellence will see you into tomorrow. Welcome, Agila. Now the time for yours. Before that, our evaluator Bharat, if you want to say something, the stage is yours. Toastmasters Bharat. Toastmasters Bharat. Yes.
So,
if you want to say something, yeah.
So the second speech will be about the implementation of the project and what the experience that she had after the implementation. Yes. And the time limit for the speech is about 5 to 7 minutes. So over to you, Toastmaster Archangel.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Timer, you can start. Good evening once again, Toastmasters. Planning is the first step, and I truly believe I had succeeded in that. Check. But is that all that you need? Just like Dhoni said inside, I would say definitely not. Planning is just on paper for now. More than planning, it's about how are you going to execute it. To be frank, it was very difficult to execute my plans. Nevertheless, it's the struggles that keeps you moving forward. For me to handle all this single-handedly couldn't be possible. I had my very supportive subcommittee team to help me out with this. My team was overflowing with almost half of the club's strength. The time when I created the WhatsApp group with all of them together, that's when I realized I had so many people to help me out. This feeling had actually brought down my fears about not succeeding. More than that, I was really excited to interact with each one of them and have a great term ahead. Coming to the very first plan that we made, inductions. Once the area team informed me that the tentative dates for the inductions will be this to this, I urged my subcommittee members to get at least 2 contacts each. Few of them even passed this hurdle with flying colors, to be frank. They just were bringing in contacts with so much ease. I even remember few of them had actually had a rivalry competition between each other to get the maximum number of contacts. And you know what? I used this to my benefit because all that mattered to me in my life was contacts at that particular time. But more than the number of contacts started increasing, I was concerned about me drifting away from my goal. That is quality over quantity. So I had a new plan. I decided to post a task for my subcommittee members. For all those contacts that they shared, I wanted them to write down the list of people and put tick marks against their names for the following. The first tick was for if they know them personally or not, and the second tick was whether they really wanted to join Toastmasters International and they were always motivated to grow. This task actually is tedious, I know, no doubts in that. But as a leader, I had to be very clear whether I'm in the path of achieving my goals every now and then. This task had made my subcommittee to interact even more, and I was happy about it. Later, I contacted each of the people coming for the inductions personally and started to get to know them little bit. I informed them about the basic happenings in an induction, and I told them that what happens in an induction session. And I also informed them about the TMI VIT, how it actually works. Coming to the inductions day, people had turned up more than we actually expected. Each one of them reached, and I made sure they felt welcomed and I tried to calm them down before their speech. Being a very approachable person, I created a connect with them in no time. At the end of this process, we had inducted people with great potential to improve and grow with the club. My first plan succeeded. It's a check. The second plan about the club bonding. I had planned a lunch that next day after the inductions. I booked a table for almost 20 of us in a restaurant. We absolutely had great fun and I was really happy about it. Apart from the lunch, I had also planned a good number of hangouts in the campus itself during the fest like Rivera, Gravitas, and many more. Slowly and steadily, I could see the club bond growing. To add on to the hangouts, I had even planned a one-day trip to Elagiri with the help of my subcommittee members. The trip was filled with amusement park rides and dance throughout the bus journey. In the process of all this, the club had accepted me as their big sister. Members used to every now and then call me Akila Akka. This made me feel overwhelmed with happiness and warmth of being home. And yes, my second plan succeeded. Check. Finally, coming to the inter-club bonding, I circulated a Google form to know when my club members are free to attend the other club sessions. I made a separate WhatsApp group for each of the weekdays. I made sure every group had one XCOM member to accompany the people going to the sessions. This also made the new inductees comfortable in attending the other club sessions. The result of the inter-club bonding was evidently seen when we had planned our milestone session, Climber 300. Wow, what a session it was with a huge number of guests turning up. Their participation throughout our session made it a grand success. So my final plan, and that is also succeeded. Check. My dear Toastmasters, this journey of being the big sister of my club, more than being the BPM, was a truly memorable journey. I had to definitely go through a lot in this period, being it managing my academics, executing all my plans, and whatnot. But what always keeps us going is the self satisfaction we earn after a thing is done. We aren't really going to get any materialistic value, but a sense of being able to gain an irreplaceable experience is what keeps us going forward. And we actually had a huge bag of memories to carry forward after this period of my BPM. So, my dear Toastmasters, it's the journey that matters than the destination. And never step back to get the opportunity to do something new. Thank you, and over to the TMOs.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sagila, for a wonderful given speech. Let's have 1 minute silence. So everyone can send the feedback to him personally or in chat box. Timer, please update after 1 minute.
Minute is up.
Thank you, sir. Let's back to our session. Human qualities. Every human has their particular characters and their qualities. They work, do all our necessary needs for their family and more on. Every person has to have social awareness and do some for the society development. Normally, when humans come out from their responsibility, there only corruptions will happen. It's happened everywhere, like teachers, doctors, police, lawyers, public workers, and leaders. So leaders are guided to all the departments and everything. So it's all happened from the beginning stages, from the learning teachers. So everywhere it's happened. So to avoid this, all the corruptions, everyone should stand their quality and characters should maintain that in home itself and family and the public. Coming up next, we have the most funful program. Without delay, let's call up our table topic master, Toastmaster Sadhana. Toastmaster Sadhana, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Well, is my voice is reachable? Okay, thank you. Good evening, club, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. I am here as your TTM of the day. Oops, actually, it's my first TTM. So I'm little happy about it because now I gonna give a topic to test your presence of mind and as well as a skill in a cool way. We have seen some very good and rocking prepared speeches this evening. But in real life, you often don't have the luxury of being able to plan what you are going to say in advance. For example, if you are, for example, you might be sitting in an important lecture of your class and your faculty suddenly, Sadhana, get up and give your opinion or to explain some concept to other people. Then what will be my reaction? How would I feel in that situation? How would we feel suddenly in that situation? So we must have some ability to speak confidently and clearly with little or no preparation is a very valuable skill. And like many things in life, a competence simply comes with practice. At Toastmasters, the table topic session allows us to practice a impromptu speaking in friendly environment. It also gives members who have you yet it also gives us a chance for the person who are not getting an opportunity to speak. This is how it's work. Now I know if I'm going to give a toughest topic to you people like a strict faculty or a teacher in our when we face in our school and colleges, then we will get nervousness, we won't get curiosity in that, we will just get a fear and we will just blabber in some way. But I'm going to be your easy go master here. Means I will give very easy topics for your speech. So I will call the volunteer or I will pick someone from for speech and show you some colors, some colorful papers. Like, can you see it? So you're going to pick any one of this color and you will get a three topics, or you can choose any one of the topics from that and you're going to give your speech. So now let me have some volunteers, please. If you're really interested, you can think on chat box. Guest, you're most welcome. Darsh, can you try? Darshini, can you give a try? It will be quite easy.
Yeah, sure.
Trust me.
Yeah, sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Quickly, just pick one color.
Uh, 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 the one behind pink. I don't know which color that one is. Turquoise or what is it called? Sea green. Yeah, that one.
A dark green. Okay. Your topics are hard work or self-confidence.
Sorry, come again, please. Come again,
okay.
please.
Will. Hard work
Okay.
or self-confidence or
Okay.
strong. So you have three. You can pick
Hard
anyone.
work, self-confidence, or
Strong.
strong.
Yes.
STRONG. Strong.
Yes.
Okay, so I have to pick one and then speak.
Yeah.
Hard work, confidence.
Yeah, if for example, if hard work you're taking it.
No, I get the thing. Hard work, confidence, and strong.
These are the qualities.
Okay,
So
qualities. Okay, I will go with confidence.
Sure. Self-confidence. Okay.
Yeah.
Timer.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Okay, can I start? Yes. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. I'm Darshini, and the topic I've selected is confidence. So, how many of you in here have proper confidence, self-confidence? If we measure and see, it'll be very low. We are the people who will sit and motivate others and give them confidence, but we fail to give confidence to us. These are the people here in Toastmasters in this screen. So I would like to say this one thing to everyone in here. We have to take time for ourselves, sit down, analyze, and then give self-confidence to ourselves. This is something that we do not do. We don't acknowledge that we don't have enough self-confidence. We are the only ones who will put ourselves down in the first place, not others. We'll be the only ones. And we are the ones who will speak that we should not be cruel to others. But we are the ones who are very cruel to ourselves. So I want to put this to everyone that everyone should take at least 5 minutes a day to give confidence to yourself, because confidence is what will make you work towards your goals. It's not just your hard work that will lead to success. It's the thought process that you have that will lead to success. Your thoughts are your actions. So I would like to conclude the speech. Thank you.
That's great, Darshini. It's a wonderful and amazing speech. Okay, now let's call upon another one. So, Surya, can I have you? Can you give a speech? Okay. Surya.
Actually unmuted, yes.
Yeah.
Just give a try. It will be quite easy.
What should I want to say?
I will show you this color papers. Okay, you have to pick one thing. So I will have 3 topics in it. You can choose or you can pick any one topic. Okay, and you have to give a speech. It will be based on human qualities. Very simple and very easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now it's your time to pick a card, color card. Come on.
Yellow.
Hello. Wow. Okay. You have trustworthy, mature, or leadership quality. You can choose anyone. Trustworthy, mature, leadership quality.
Mature.
Go on.
I want to speak the topic.
Yes, you want to.
It's about our personality to
yes.
show
how
we are attractive to some other.
Exactly,
and,
Surya. You can share your experience from that.
And more. That's all. I not have that much advice.
That's cool, Surya. Seriously, you've done a very good job. Seriously, you tried a lot, and it was your first time since, but you tried. Very good, great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and next we will go with Apurva. Are you there? No. Siddharth, can you? Siddharth, can you unmute?
Hi. I'm sorry. I was in a call.
That's okay. Now, are you free?
One second.
Okay. If you back.
I'm extremely sorry. I was in a call.
That's okay. That's not an issue.
Yeah.
Okay, Siddharth. I have 4 colors. Okay. Right? Yes. I have 4 colors for you. and you have to pick one, and you have 3 topics in that. You can choose any one topic. It's based on human qualities, and you want to give a speech for 2 minutes. Can you?
Okay, cool. Table topics. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, pick your color.
I guess I'll go for orange.
Orange. My favorite color. Okay. Okay. Your topics are versatile, or capable, or loyal. 3 things. You can pick
Okay.
any. Versatile, or capable, or loyal. The qualities.
Okay, so I should pick a quality and speak about those qualities.
No, no, no. These are the quality. These 3 or some qualities. You have to pick one of these, and you have to speak.
Okay, I have to speak on one quality.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I would go for loyalty then.
Sure. Carry on.
Loyalty. It is a very important quality in this world where people change their shades in an instant. Back when I was in back when I was in back when I was a high schooler, I used to have a few friends. So I considered them to be my best friends at that point of time, and we did everything together. Be it sitting together in classes, studying together, or even bunking classes to go outside. We did everything together, and because we were so tight, I did not mind spending my money for them, my time for them, and I was ready to do anything for them. And these people, in the beginning, they were really loyal to me, close to me, and would defend me no matter what. But as time progressed, they started exploiting me. They started hanging with me just for my money. And I realized that. And I felt as if it was a huge blow to the innocence I had. And because of this, I could never really trust people as well as I used to. So loyalty, it is a very important quality which once shattered is very difficult to build back up. Thank you, and over to the TTM.
Thank you, Siddharth. It's amazing speech, and we all enjoyed it. You connected with your personal thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all we have time for. And congratulations to all such a talented participants. Apologies to those who didn't get the opportunity to speak over. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Sadhana. As usual, you rocked with colorful TT. It was amazing and extraordinary. Now, it's the time for evaluation. It's very helpful to improve ourselves for our qualities and our perfections. For that, for detailed reports, let's call our General Evaluator, Toastmasters Priyanka. Over to General Evaluator, Toastmaster Priyanka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anantha sir. Unless and until you're evaluated on what you've spoken on, you won't grow. To begin with the evaluation session, I first call upon our Evaluator 1, Toastmaster Bharat, to submit his evaluation report. Over to you, Toastmaster Bharat.
Am I audible? Yeah. Thank you, General Evaluator. So let me go ahead with the evaluation of Speaker 1, who is Toastmaster Akhilandeshwari. So Toastmaster Akhilandeshwari, firstly, a big kudos for you for completing your project with great effort. So the most important thing that I liked in your speech is the introduction that you gave. Yes, often you take many of the speakers who are most eminent, they like to say their intro in such a different way. So not in a conventional like good morning or greeting. They would like to have a different kind of content in the speech. So for that, you had the dialogue or phrase that don't usually say that definitely not. That was the interesting thing. So that brings some attention to the people who are listening to. So the kind of introduction you gave was very awesome. So that's the thing I wish to tell. And moving on to the next element of the speech, the voice modulation. Yes, you bring up the great voice modulation in your speech. wherever it is needed. So you also had the great pauses in your speech, which also gives a perfect sense to what you're saying. And moving on to the most important aspect of a speech. So generally now in the online platforms, people are just sit and delivering their speeches, but instead you just stand and deliver. So that was a most important thing I thought. So by the way, people were become more attracted to your speech, and also your hand gestures and the way you follow your speech are clear when you are standing and delivering your speech. Well, so these are the good things that I have found in your speech, and I have few suggestions to your speech. So the first thing that I wish to say is that I think you should have some emotions in your speech. For example, so when you're saying that, so the people call me Akila Akka, yes. So when you're calling that, so you can bring up a sad emotion or the happy, so anything that you want to convey at the speech. So if it is more emotional, so that would be more attractive. And for example, and also you said we have done the milestone session. So if it can be more emotional, so the people can really attract your speech. So you did a great voice modulation. I'm telling that the emotion to your words. So that would be much better. And the next thing is that the smile when you're delivering your speech. So even though it is hard to bringing up the humor in the kind of project type of speeches, so you can have a flooded smile on your speech. So that brings a kind of attention to the audience. So overall, to summarize, you did a great speech and congrats. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bharat. Now we have Toastmaster Saumini to submit her report on speech 2.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate Toastmaster Ritik on successfully completing his project by describing a leadership style that was exhibited by one of his coaches, Shreyas. Secondly, I'd like to appreciate him on the amazing job of giving a speech standing up, which no VTC member has done until today. And then his speech, coming to his speech, A Spring Flower. As poetic as it sounds, it began with a line that sounded as a poem, which is one of the most captivating ways to kickstart your speech. As a beginning of the speech lays most of your foundation and on which you could thrive on. I think starting your speech with a poem was one of the best ways that you could do so. Also, it served very fitting for today, the World Poetic Day. As Toastmaster Ritik started narrating his incidents in his life, I'm very sure that he not only made us listen to them, but he made us live those incidents which he himself has gone through. That is one of the biggest laurels and achievements a speaker could possess, touching an audience and making them live through the incidents of the speaker. This was one of the most animated speeches that I have witnessed on a Zoom session. Next, even though a speech has touching and inspiring elements and anecdotes in it, they are of no use when you're not able to execute and deliver them properly to your audience. Today, I saw Toastmaster Ritik not at all flinching and struggling with that aspect of a speech. Kudos to you. He also employed the concept of wordplay in his speech, which I know is one of the most difficult things to script and write in your speech. And a concept which is a very novel thing to VTC and something I've never seen in the previous speeches in anyone else's. I think we can all take that home and keep in mind when we are preparing our speeches in the future. And coming to the area where I'd like him to work on, there was only one thing regarding the vocal variety. The only recommendation I'd like to give to Ritik's speech is that regarding it Everyone might have witnessed one of the best portrayals of vocal variety in his speech. I am not debating on that. But there were segments where his speech had audience engaging rhetorical questions in the end, which when a speaker delivers with the concept of fade in and fade out. You might have seen this in music where the music starts with a low note and ends with a low note. So, for example, he asked a question like, "What do you feel?" And usually in a physical meeting, you can employ it with a very low tone, which is very low. But on Zoom, we all know that a Zoom session has its own limitations. And I felt that Toastmaster Ritik or any other speakers in the future could employ this concept of fade in, fade out with a tone that is a little bit higher than what you do in a conventional or physical session. So that is it from my report. Overall, summarizing it, Toastmaster Ritik had a very beautiful start. The speech was scripted out, very creative and animated, that was touching and inspiring in so many ways. Kudos on the usage of wordplay. I'll make sure to use that in my future speeches, and delivering a speech that was very, very, very relevant to the audience. 100 points on having a great audience awareness, Toastmaster Ritik. I'm sure you would like to work on the fade in, fade out concept, and great job on standing up and giving your speech. I think that will motivate all of us VTC members to do so in the future. Thank you. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saumini. That was a very profound report. And next up, I would like to call upon our tag team. Firstly, Toastmaster Vijay sir to give his report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Importance of time is such that it establishes your integrity. Today, I'm glad to announce that both our speakers have qualified. And a guest speaker, Akhilandeshwari, is qualified in both the speeches which she delivered. Coming to our table topic speakers, two of them were guests and one of our members, and only a guest speaker, Surya, did not qualify it. And coming to the evaluation round, Toastmaster Bharat qualified and Toastmaster Saumini could not qualify today. Thank you. Over with the report. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay. Next, we have our counter for the day, Toastmaster Kriti. Over to you, Toastmaster Kriti.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I would like to appreciate integrity of the speakers and evaluators in their speeches and evaluations. Coming to under the category of less than 5 accounts, we have Toastmaster Akhilandeshwari. Coming to the category of more than 5 accounts and less than 10 accounts, we have Toastmaster Bharat. And coming to the category of no accounts, we have Toastmaster Saumini, Toastmaster Ritik, Toastmaster Siddharth, and Toastmaster Darshini. Thank you. Over to the General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kriti. Next up, we have the Grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Devendran, with his report. Over to you, Toastmaster Devendran.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So, the grammar is most important because it is a structure that conveys the precise meaning from the writer to the audience. So, coming to the report, there is no grammatical error of any of the speeches, and it was very clean. It was very clean. And coming to the usage of the word, usage of the word, Toastmaster Akhilandeshwari has used it, and thanks for that is from my side. Yeah. Over to the General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devendran, and now it's time for my report. First off, the meeting started on time, which is a very big improvement for our VTC. And first of all, claps for that. Claps to us. And hope we maintain this in our upcoming sessions too. And to comment on the SAS performance, I hope I set in the right energy and environment for the meeting to take place. And by conducting a small activity and recalling the vision, mission, and also by explaining the ground rules. Next, the tag team, my pillars. The timer, Toastmaster Vijay, you are a person who can take up any role and like ace it. You did justice to your role and an excellent job at explaining the timing rules and also displaying the cards and signaling the speakers promptly. Glad that you had an extremely good internet connection. Great job. And yeah, your report you started off with very hello.
They already sent in the chat.
Yeah, she's muted.
Yeah. You started off with a quote and bringing in a lot of positivity and also explained the buffer timings. And it was a very good job, sir. Hats off to you. And next up, the R counter, Toastmaster Kriti. You did an amazing job. You are no more like a newbie to VTC. You executed the role very creatively, which was at par with the theme, and delivered an elaborate and maintained the elaborate report as well as maintained your timing. And yes, and next up, congratulations to you. And next up, we have the grammarian for the day. The word of the day was introduced in parallel with the theme, which was easy to grasp and easy to use. Thank you for that, sir. And also the word of the day was sent in chat, which was another good thing that happened. And your report was very short, very precise. And also you congratulated the people who had used the word of the day. Overall, it was a great job, sir. Thank you. And next up, we have the table topics master. Wow, Express Sadhana, that was a really good comeback after a very long time. It was a very interesting and creative session by the way you showed the cards and to choose a color. That was really something new and it was a very creative way. You had explained the purpose of table topics, but I felt that you could have made the instructions of table topics and choosing the cards a bit more clear so that the guest speakers would have had it easy. And you called up the members in order, like from those who didn't have any roles to guests and then to those who had roles. But yes, okay. You were very creative and also explained the 30 seconds buffer time and appreciated the efforts of speakers, which is very appreciable. I felt that you could have one area in which you could improve is the format. That is the title, speaker, title format wasn't applied. And I felt the next time you take up the role, you must do that. And it was, you diligently knew the time constraint and delivered your best. Congratulations, Sadhana. And now to the Evaluator 1, Toastmaster Bharat. You did a brilliant job. You had a very soft tone throughout your throughout the report, and which is very comforting without being rude to anyone. You had a very summarized report, and you had oh my god, just a second. You had employed the sandwich method, which is very appreciable, and obviously the creative introduction that you gave that involved biryani as an example was amazing. And you started off. You creatively introduced the role and the purpose, the role, the project, and the purpose of the project, and congratulated the speaker and started off with very good positivity. Thank you, Toastmaster Bharat. And now we have Evaluator 2, Toastmaster Saumini. I highly look forward to any role you take up, Saumini, because I know you're going to ace it. And you have done this role with utmost dedication. And this is like one of the best, most profound reports that I've seen. Your report employed the sandwich technique, which is the positive and in between the areas you need to improve, and then the positive again. And you had a very soft and comforting tone throughout the report, which is good. And you began and concluded on a very positive note and acknowledged the efforts put in by the speaker and what you really liked and the effects it had on you. And lastly, you introduced the project and the purpose of the project by and also stated examples and areas in where the speaker should improve. That was a very brilliant work, Saumini. And now, lastly, Toastmaster of the day, most exorbitant and extraordinary Toastmaster, Anantha Kumar sir, who always comes forward to grab the role of PMOD and also comes with interesting themes and insightful themes relating to ethics, morals, and social awareness. Sir, you did an excellent job. You displayed a great amount of enthusiasm and creativity. The transitions between the role players were very smooth. You gave a 1-minute break promptly after each speech. And you started off the session with a question which grabbed the attention of audience. So one area I felt where you could improve is you didn't introduce the speaker according to the format, that is the speaker, title, speaker. It's supposed to be done that way. And you had highlighted the outline of the meeting very well. And yes, last but not the least, you bore a smile throughout the meeting, which is very, very, very pleasant to see and very motivating too, sir. You did justice to your role and it was an amazing show put up. Thank you, sir. And over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, our General Evaluator, Toastmasters Priyanka, for giving a detailed report. Back to human qualities. So already we discussed more qualities of humans, what we are having, where we have to explore that. So as a human, our one of the most important quality to think and select the right person who will do good deeds for the people and for the nation. So far, the upcoming election, do your responsibility for our nation. Thank you. Thank you to all. Over to Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Anantha Kumar sir. You did a wonderful job today. We are so happy with the session today. So yeah, so now it's time for the ballot. So tell me if everybody put their votes. Okay, let's wait for the ballot. And
I have 9 responses. I urge everybody to vote, please.
And in the gap, let us hear the feedback from the guest speaker and the guest. So Toastmaster Akhilandeshwari, can you please unmute and tell your experience with VTC today?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bharat. So for me, this opportunity of actually giving a speech in VTC had been a kind of a role that I always wanted to do because I didn't have a chance to interact with VTC members. So I'm really glad that I got this chance and opportunity to give a speech over here. And I'm really happy that you all liked my speech. Talking about the roles, the theme was about human qualities, and I could see till the TTM, everybody had taken up that particular theme, indulged into their roles, and they had delivered it really well. So I'm really happy to be part of this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akhilandeshwari, for your beautiful comments. And we are looking forward to you in the future sessions as well. And we would like to learn many things from people like you. Well, do we have any other guests? So, Siddharth, can you please tell some feedback about the session?
Hey Bharat, first off, I would like to apologize. I joined your session quite late, so I missed quite a bit of it. But whatever I saw was like really amazing, really creative. You guys have done an amazing job, and I am really happy that I got to be part of your session. And thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Siddharth, for the comments. And we hope to see you back in the next session as well. Do we have... I think that's it. So the ballots are ready. So a few seconds, let me write it down. Well, the ballots are ready. So we all are the winners when we participate in an event. Yes, that's absolutely correct. But we have some winners. That is a thing that can motivate them to do better. Yeah. So firstly, we have the best tag role player of the session. Well, it's none other than Toastmaster Kriti for you. Moving on to the best PT speaker, it's Toastmaster Dashini. And thirdly, let's move on to the best role player. Well, it's none other than the innovative role player of today's session. It's Toastmaster Sadhana for you. And finally, the best speaker. So the best speaker of today's session is Toastmaster Ritik. So that's it from the ballots. So thanks to all the guests and the guest speakers and all the role players who did their job at that most level. And we had a very good session today. And I would like to thank the Evaluator 1 who take up the role when Toastmaster Ravi was backed out. So it's me. And so we had a very good session today and hoping to see you all in the next session. And over to this Surgeon Data.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bharat. With this, we come to the end of a beautiful meeting. But remember, I told in the introduction of my essay that today is also known as the Common Courtesy Day, which is something related to our theme. With our day-to-day busy lives, we often forget to say small things that can make a difference. Example, how many of us remember the 3 golden words that we taught in Model Sense during our class 1? Please, sorry, and thank you. How often do we use this to strangers or some grocery shop cashier or a Swiggy delivery guy? We do not, right? Maybe most of us do, but then there are some people who do not. As quoted by a very famous French philosopher, gratitude is the most exquisite form of courtesy. I thought, why not we share a quick appreciation to each other? Don't overthink. It can be very simple as saying thanks. Let it start from me. I would like to thank Vijay sir for pushing me to take up this role of general evaluator, through which I learned a lot. It is challenging, yes, but I hope I did justice to the role. Thank you so much, Vijay sir. I wouldn't have done this without your support. Is there anyone else who would like to take this moment to appreciate or thank anyone?
I'd like to thank Kirtana for joining us today on My Word. Thank you, Kirtana, for joining in today. And thank you, Priyanka, for showing faith in my decision.
Thank you so much, sir. Is there anyone else?
I would like to thank the TTM for making me give a TT after 1 year. Okay.
I would like to thank Toastmaster Soumni for coordinating with me the entire time, like right from the start when I decided to give a speech in VTC till today. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Soumni.
Guys, take a bow to Soumini.
I'd like to thank Vijay sir for the personalized message that he sent me through chat box that I overshot time in my evaluation. I was feeling a bit low about it, but thank you, sir. It means a lot.
I think we have to congratulate all of us, each other, for putting up a great show today. So claps to us.
I felt the highlight of today's show was Bharat self-validating himself. I think we are supposed to learn it from him. It's not something that we should laugh about, I think it's very, very important that we learn from him to self-validate ourselves, because at least there should be one person who has to validate ourselves at the end of the day. We wouldn't post heavy criticisms on our friend, but so why should we do it on ourselves? And I think we are all learning on that part. I think that learning of us starts with Bharat's portrayal of his self-validation today.
Thank you, Saumini, and over to the presiding officer.
So that's it. We had a great day today, and thanks to all the people who present. And I hereby declare that the session number 74 of Vellore Toastmasters Club ends.
May I please request Kirtana Mogi to come and give us feedback of the session?